to Community Collaborators. I'm Vicky from Brain Injury Hawke's Bay, and today I'm talking to Chrissie. Chrissie, thank you so much for joining us.
Kia ora, Vicky. Morena tātou. Thank you for the opportunity to have a chat with you this morning around the work that we're doing with the Access Alliance. Just a bit about myself. My name is Chrissie, and I am the chair of the Access Alliance, which I'll talk about, but I'm also a CEO of the only Indigenous disabled persons-led Māori organisation in New Zealand. So I'm quite excited about this, having this opportunity to share with you some of the work we're progressing through the Access Alliance. So yeah. A little bit more about myself. I'm actually a Hawke's Bay girl. I was born here, went to school here, trained here before I went away to work in Auckland for a while. So yeah, so my bones are in Hawke's Bay, as you would say. So kia ora, Vicky.
Great, and that's great. I've just recently met Chrissie, and I've really enjoyed hearing about the work that she's doing with the Access Alliance. And so we kind of thought this was a great way to let everybody know about the great work that's going on in that area. So Chrissie, do you want to tell us about Access Alliance?
Sure thing, I'd love to. Okay, the Access Alliance is started off as a collective of organisations that work in the disability sector, and we came together to discuss our concerns around the about lobbying government to consider introducing a form of legislation that would enable our community to bring in enforceable standards. So in the founding members, we have Parents for Vision Impaired, Blind Citizens New Zealand, Blind Low Vision New Zealand, Cerebral Palsy Society, National Federation of the Deaf, Deaf Aotearoa, CCS Disability Action, People First, and Disabled Persons Assembly New Zealand, and then of course Kapo Māori Aotearoa. So from that discussion, we then started a campaign called Access Matters, and through that campaign we sought the support of local communities and individuals in our communities, and to this current day, our local communities, like here in Hawke's Bay, are the grassroots people that get out there and lobby and talk to their MPs, ask questions, and we're very grateful for the support we get. In 2018, the Alliance Collective nominated a chair, and that is myself. And so I've been chair since 2018, and during 2018 in particular, we really lobbied government. So we're an independent group, a collective, and in December 2018, the Minister for Disability Issues, the Honourable Carmel Sepuloni, presented to government her intent, with the support of Cabinet, to explore in more detail a work program that looked into assessing whether accessibility legislation was the right way to go for New Zealand, Aotearoa New Zealand. Since that time, what started as a collective of organisations from specifically the disability sector, providers and disabled-led organisations, we now have morphed into what we call the Disability Access Alliance movement, and we have over 7,000 members, that's organisations and individuals throughout the country. Some organisations like Seniors, Grey Power, Age Concern, Multiple Birth Society, Arthritis New Zealand, and these groups have come on board because of the fact access impacts on everybody in Aotearoa New Zealand, not just the disabled community. Also with that, that was made possible during Minister Sepuloni's announcement, because she recognised the fact that there are many New Zealanders that have access needs. So hence we're now government is calling a movement. And where we're at now is that in July, Minister went to Cabinet with her report and recommended that accessibility legislation was the appropriate action to take. And as a result of her report, Cabinet has supported that her ministry progress with the Access Alliance, the framework, what we're calling the legislative framework. So that's a very condensed version of where we are of our history so far. Yeah.
Awesome, and it's just such great work that's going on. I've just been on your website and had a look at the different ways people can be involved. What can you suggest if someone's hearing this video and they want to be involved, they want to do their part? What can everybody do to help?
Yeah. What we're campaigning now, our roadmap, I suppose you say, is that even though our work is progressing very positively, we're working on a framework, with the election, of course, and also wanting to keep the momentum, people can consider writing to their local MP, and we have on our website, like Vicky mentioned, resources for individuals or groups to have a look at, and if you support the vision of everybody about access, and that everybody should have the right to access whatever services or supports they want, or just even accessing your education, health services. Go onto our website and have a look. You don't need to go out in the face of people. You might just choose to just fill out our template. So you just have a look at our templates that are there. We've got a draft letter that you can write to MPs, and you just post it off. We're also, during this time, I've mentioned the fact that the Access Alliance is working with the Ministry of Social Development around the framework. Part of that work, and an important part, is for the communities to have the opportunity to feed back around what you see the framework. So during November, and through, I would say, till early February, we will be consulting and with the community. Again, if you go on to the Access Alliance website, you'll see updates about that. And there will be ways to feed information back into the community. The other thing that's coming out is there is a group of what they call legal researchers that independently did some research into what would an accessibility framework look like, or system look like in New Zealand. Their draft report will also be coming out in around October, November. And again, any people who would like to have a look at that document, we will more than likely post it on the Access Alliance page. Feel free to have a read of it, and again, feed back to us what you think about it. So there's all these different ways. It's having those conversations with people, family, absolutely, your local mate at the dairy, around what do they think access is about.
Yes, and I mean, that's it, because people don't know what they don't know. So if this isn't brought to light and we don't talk about these things, no one's going to know about it.
That's right, and it's just having a conversation. Something that we say to communities and even government. It's not around what we're doing is not around trying to fix what's already there in place, but to provide a framework that will not happen overnight. It'll be rolled out over time. And through that, people will be able to, again, be able to have somewhere to go if they've got an issue around access. And access, and it's what access means to people, in their environment, in their at home, at work, or wherever. So yeah, it's really exciting, and what I'm committed to, and the founding members of the Alliance, is that you know, every Kiwi has the opportunity to contribute, because we're looking at from birth to you know, from up to elderly and everything. So yeah, it's quite a lot happening, and
That's exciting stuff.
it is. And there is something that's just come through that I'll just flag to you guys, and that the Access Alliance will be launching as well. And it's where, again, people have the opportunity to go online. When I read it, I thought, oh, this is exciting, because I believe, you know, it is around reaching into the regions. And so this comms has come out just over the last few days, and I will find it shortly, but it's opening up the opportunity for individuals to go onto the website and participate in a sort of workshopy thing. And when I find it, oh, here it is. So it's a collaboration that we're doing with groups called Access Advisors, Accessibility Tech, and Tech for Good. Now, these are professionals, like Access Advisors has people in there that, for example, do web design, and they'll advise groups on how to make their websites accessible. So what we're looking at and planning is a lunchtime learning virtual panel discussion.
Right.
This is on for the International Day of People with Disabilities, and so the focus will be on the theme that not all disabilities are visible. This panel will explore how digital accessibility impacts on people with a variety of disabilities or injuries. So it's open for people with invisible disabilities by creating a brainstorming community art project.
Oh, awesome.
Using a virtual whiteboard. I was reading this, I was going, oh, wow. And it'll be on the Access Alliance website. The objective, you know, is to get the communities talking and frequently. The other thing, so that's something that's coming up. It will be promoted as it evolves. But a key point I forgot to add is that what is, you know, one other way that people can show their support is by registering as a supporter of Access Alliance, and that costs nothing, you know, and you again go onto the website, there's a form there that you can complete, and that way, by registering as a supporter, we you know, it's assured you will get everything hot off the press. Whereas because Vicky and I won't see ourselves that often, you may miss something if you're wanting to be.
That's a great way to sign up and be in the loop and get all the information.
Absolutely. And like I said, there's no cost and to register as a supporter. Plus, what I'm also very committed about is that we have frequent meetings with the Minister for Minister Sepuloni and other ministers, I must add, and so I part of what I do is I take a delegation with me, and as a support member or an organisation, we try to you know, give people that opportunity to meet with a minister and share their lived experience. Yeah, you know, it's not all about these people like myself sitting there in these rooms.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've done a lot of Zooming too with ministers, so so you know, it may not be that people have to travel. We can Zoom in. So that's another thing, and that's more around when I'm working, if we've got meetings and that.
Yeah, great. And that's a great way for people to be involved and be empowered to go and tell their story, and great.
Absolutely. And, you know, and give solutions, because there is a lot of misunderstanding in our community, and it's because people aren't educated. What, you know, you've heard me talk about the legislation development. What's also been recognised and will be developed is education and public awareness is a key, because again, people don't know what they don't know. And it's about us educating. And I've met a lot, like we have businesses that are members and they really want to help, but they don't know how, you know. And sometimes they look at it and they're told that, oh, it's going to cost this and that. But as many people like yourselves who are listening to this, you have simple solutions. And that people go, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you think of some shops and some places, and you think that there would be some simple, a shift of a few things could make all the difference.
Yeah.
Bigger font on websites, or there's simple ways to make life a bit easier.
Absolutely. And it is too that fact that we have what has been really pleasing with the Access Alliance is that we've also developed relationships across parties, and we have a group called, I call it PCAL because that's a really nice acronym, very short, because I'll say the full name, Parliamentary Champions of Accessibility Legislation. And so PCAL. So I co-chair that with two MPs, one from the Labour Party and one from National. And the Labour Party rep was the Honourable Ruth Dyson, who sadly has retired. And if you know the disability movement, she was key in her day as Minister for Disabilities in getting action around New Zealand adopting the Convention for the Rights of Disabled People. And for National, we have the Honourable Alfred Ngaro. And we work together and we host meetings with MPs, and that's educating as well from all the parties. And that's another opportunity where support members, founding members of Access Alliance can sit in on those PCAL meetings and ask questions again. So there's lots of ways of doing it, and you don't necessarily have to leave your home.
Great. Yeah. So many opportunities to have your voice heard, which is so important.
Yeah, it's crucial, The Access Alliance, we recognise, it would not be for people like your members, Vicky, in the community, in the grounds root, the movement has become what it is. We also like love stories. I've been on the website, Brain Injury Hawke's Bay's website, and I see that you guys share your stories as well. And if you go on our website, you'll see stories as well. And it's around, again, for us, how access could, how you see what access supports you might think would better help you in your community. Yeah, so it's really quite exciting.
It is. Chrissie, thank you so much for talking to me today and filling everybody in on this great work that's happening. We will put up a slide that has the information for your website. And I just would encourage everyone to go on and have a look. As Chrissie said, there's great stories, all the information you need to be part of this action. And what a great thing to be part of. So thank you so much, Chrissie.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for listening to me, and I look forward to meeting some of you hopefully. Please think about joining the movement. I think you will enjoy it, and it's something that's the right thing to do in New Zealand, and we're getting that support. So thank you very much, people, and thank you, Vicky.
Thanks, Chrissie.